All right, let's jump right in. Have you ever really stopped to think about just how different our world is today compared to, say, when our parents were growing up? We're going to dive into the digital revolution, this incredible force that didn't just change our world, it basically shrank it.
I mean, just look at this comparison. It is absolutely staggering. The difference is night and day, right? We went from a world where everything had friction. Mailing a letter took days. An international call would cost you a fortune. Now, a message is sent in a second. A video call is, well, it's basically free. This wasn't just some small improvement. It was a total rewrite of how we connect with each other.
And the craziest part, this whole revolution happened at a breathtaking speed. It feels like it happened in the blink of an eye. That's why we're calling this first section the Great Acceleration. We're going to look at how we went from a world full of delays and friction to one where everything just flows.
Okay, and this is the core idea, the real kicker. This technology didn't just make old stuff faster, it completely erased the rules of distance and time. I mean, for basically all of human history, those were the biggest barriers between people. 1,000 miles might as well have been a different planet. Now, it's nothing. It's just a click away.
This timeline really paints a picture, doesn't it? Look at the gaps here. It took over 100 years to go from the first telephone to the first mobile phone. A whole century. But then, look what happens. From the public internet going live to having all of that power and more right in our pockets, less than 25 years. That insane curve right there, that is the Great Acceleration.
So, what happens when communication becomes instant and practically free? Well, yeah, it changes how you talk to your friends and family, for sure. But the impact is so much bigger. It completely redraws the map of the global economy. And that brings us to our next big topic, the borderless economy.
So, what in the world is a borderless economy? It's actually pretty simple. It just means we live in a world where your physical location, your street address, matters way less than your digital one. Think about it. For centuries, the biggest roadblock for any business was geography. Now, digital tools have basically vaporized that barrier.
And this chart here just lays it all out plain and simple. The before and after is stark. You know, we went from everyone commuting to one central office, to teams being spread out all over the globe. We went from hiring the best person in your city to hiring the best person on the planet. And meetings, they moved out of the physical boardroom and into digital spaces like Zoom or Teams. It's a totally different way of thinking about work. Of course, this whole thing isn't just about spreadsheets and conference calls. Not at all. This revolution reached deep into our personal lives, and it fundamentally rewove the very fabric of our society. How we connect, how we build relationships, everything.
Yeah, this one really hits home for a lot of us, I think. A family member in a different country is literally just a tap away for a video call. I mean, think about that. That physical distance that used to feel like a massive wall is now just not there. It's not just convenient, it has genuinely made our closest relationships stronger.
And the social shifts were just massive. First off, you've got the democratization of information. Knowledge wasn't just for the people who could get to a library anymore. It was suddenly for everyone. Then, social media basically gave a megaphone to anyone who wanted one, letting individuals and movements find a global audience. And finally, culture just exploded across borders. We can instantly dive into music, art, and ideas from literally anywhere.
But you know, a change this massive is never that simple. It's never just one thing. This constant 24/7 connection, it is absolutely a double-edged sword. For all the amazing power it gives us, it also comes with a whole new set of, well, very modern problems.
Because let's be real, every revolution has its complexities. And our instant connection, it's no different. So let's get into it and look at both sides of the coin.
So first, let's talk about the upside, because what we've gained is incredible. We can collaborate in real time with people on the other side of the planet. We can keep our social bonds strong no matter the distance. Marginalized voices now have a platform to be heard. And of course, that unprecedented access to information. These are not small things. They are truly world-changing. But there is a flip side. There's a cost. We've seen a potential decline in real in-person communication. So much nuance, body language, tone of voice gets lost when you're just texting. We're under constant pressure from a news cycle that never, ever stops. And we're all trying to navigate this massive flood of misinformation and just information overload. These are the real challenges we're facing.
So, okay, we've got these incredible gains and we've got these very real challenges.
The big question is, what's next? Where are we going from here? Well, the trajectory seems pretty clear. Everything is pointing toward even more immersive, more integrated digital experiences. The lines between our physical and digital worlds, they're about to get a whole lot blurrier. This revolution isn't over, not by a long shot. It's just getting started on its next chapter.
And you can already see the tech that's going to drive this next wave. We're talking about super fast networks like 5G and eventually 6G. We're talking about immersive, virtual, and augmented reality that will literally layer the digital world on top of our physical one. And of course, sophisticated AI that's going to manage all of this in ways we can't even really wrap our heads around yet.
And all of this, it brings us to one final, really big question. As our digital and physical worlds continue to merge, what does it even mean to be truly present? I don't have the answer, but it's definitely something for all of us to think about. Thanks for diving into this with me.